After trading for 18 months, I finally took a step back and realized that sometimes we blame psychology a little too much, that we don't get to see the real causality behind our current projection of reality. What if the real problem is how we design the very system we are meant to trust? In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the steps of why I'm changing my strategy and most importantly, what you might also want to look out for when probably changing a strategy, because regardless of what you see in this video, 99% of people 90% of people don't need to change their strategy, right? So let's get that right first, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. So for the purpose of understanding, I just made a little bit of presentation last night, so you guys can understand what I'm trying to say and all. So now, first of all, is that I'm changing my strategy, and one of the most important thing I want you to have in your mind when watching this video is that I am not changing the strategy based on my win rate. As you can see right here, this is not about my win rate, right? If you look at it from a win rate perspective, yeah, it has a low win rate of 38% across 2 years data, which backtested data, right? And an average of 4 to 7 trades a month, right? With a 1 ratio fixed risk to reward. So now I'm talking about my current edge that I want to change, right? And the return throughout that 2 years was 81%, right? It's 1%, which is profitable when we look at it from a paper perspective. The edge is profitable. And if I now say that this is not about win rate, I have a low win rate at 8% and I still come out in profit, then what is the need? Why am I now changing my strategy? Why the need for change? If the edge is profitable, right? Is it logical to change the strategy, or am I just being emotionally biased, to follow the norm or something like that and just keep going in circle of unprofitability, right? So now we're gonna be digesting that. So now these are like one of the most key important uh, stuff that I highlighted that would be like the core principle of why I'm changing this strategy, basically. So now the first one is kind of like an assertion plus a realization I made in my edge. So rarity of an edge does not equal high win rate. So now, as you can see right here, I had 4 to 7 trades a month. As a day trader, you all know that that is very low. That is very low. You have to have a lot of patience and all. That is very low. So now, even because it is rare, right? Does not still equal having a high win rate, right? The rarity of the edge does not equal a high win rate. Now, number two is that less frequency of trades plus low win rate is equals to psychological damage. Now, from a psychological perspective, now when you have a less frequency of trades plus low win rate, and I'm still going to be going into more examples on that later on in the video, is equals to psychological damage. That's from a psychological perspective. So which means less frequency simply means that, okay, you are taking lesser trades a month and you are not getting rewarded for being patient by having a high win rate, but you're still having a very low win rate. You understand what I mean? So now the third one is that realistic scenario of missing winners will make your equity curve bleed. Now, on a realistic scenario, there will be times whereby I missed some winners. Let's say I took 4 trades a month and then I had 3 losses, and then the fourth one that was meant to be a win, I missed the trade, right? My equity curve will bleed badly because I need those winners. Those winners are very important, right? Those winners, those little winners I'm getting along the way are going to be very important in having a balanced equity curve as we saw in paper. Because if you go back to this, if I have an estimated return of 81% in 2 years, that means in a year, an average return I should be expecting in a year should be about 40 to 50% thereabouts. Return on investment, RR. So if I'm risking 1% consistently for the year, I should come out with a 40% to 50% return on investment, right? So now let's move on to the next. Now, Now let me give you a 1 year average scenario. Now let's say I took trades, 65 trades in a year, by having a 38% win rate. You missing, let's say, just 5 wins will automatically reduce your ROI by 20%. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I said less frequency of trades plus low win rate is equals to psychological damage. Now, we're not even now talking about human errors now. We're talking about playing the, let's say I'm a robot. Let's say I'm a robot, right? But I'm a robot that or let's say I don't have any emotional any emotional flaws, right? I execute my trades properly, and I do all that. Then I thought about it, like realistically, the way I am now, there'll be times whereby I went to school and I missed a trade. There'll be times whereby I'm in an I'm in an exam hall and I missed a trade, right? So this is just trying to assert that this current edge is very sensitive to missed trades. Very sensitive. So now, for example, 65 trades, right? So in 65 trade with a 38% win rate, you're gonna have like an average of 25 wins and 40 losses. So that's gonna result into plus 35R, right? 25 times 3, that's 75, and 40 losses, which is 40R minus 40R, that will be equals to 35R. So now let's say I miss trades, right? I'm a human being. I might be in an exam hall, right? I might I might be ill. My equipment might not be charged. A lot of things can go on in the span of a year. Like the less frequency of trade is kind of getting to my head. Like what am I doing with my life if I'm not taking 4 trades a month and I still have a 38% merit? How long do I want to pass a prop farm? Like it's crazy. Now, as you can see, missed trades, and as you can see, right, I've been talking about almost in every video. I've been talking about missing trades, missing winners, right? This is the problem right here. And then, of course, yeah, like I said, missing trades have kind of been, when I look back at it, missing trades have been kind of 50% my fault. And sometimes I just can't control that moment, right? I just can't control that moment. Let's say I'm sick, let's say my phone are not charged at all because where I live, we're only giving lights from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. So the time is currently, this is not even up to 6 a.m. I think the time is currently five something, and they're soon gonna off the lights. So I gotta be fast with this video also. so like it's it's not in my control. Sometimes it's not in my control to miss trades. And that is kind of hurting my equity curve. It's just making me look like someone that doesn't know what he's doing. Right? So this head is highly sensitive to missing trades. You understand what I mean? So now let's go on to the next one. So 35 minus 15 is equals to 20R. So which means, like I said, by having a 38% win rate, you missing, let's say, 5 wins will automatically reduce your ROI by 20%. So instead of having plus 35R, you're gonna have approximately 20R. Now think about it here. Imagine having to be patient because to take 47 trades a month as a day trader requires a lot of patience. So now let's say you're doing that for a whole year, you now take 65 to 70 trades just because you missed 5 wins. Just because you missed 5 wins, you are exiting the year with 20R, which is very, very low for a day trader, right? And I'm going to be explaining one of the reasons why also. Missing 5 trades will automatically reduce my win rate to 20 to 32%, right? To 32%. So now let me give you a very logical perspective on why I said, it's very low for a day trader, because some people might be like 20% a year is actually very good or something like that bullshit. So now the thing about it is that I watched a podcast of Lance Breinstein. I don't know if you know him. He's an, I think, 8 figure founder trader or 9 figure ish. And he talked about how a scalper has more edge than other traders. Now, this is the perspective he's talking about it from. So now let's say a scalper versus a day trader, right? On a general scenario, I'm not talking about some exceptions. On a general perspective, we have a scalper, we have a day trader. A scalper would likely make more RR at the end of the month than a day trader because let's say they both have 50% win rate, right? This one has day trader has 50% win rate and this has 50% win rate. And a scalper took 20 trades because he's going to have more frequency of trades, right? A scalper took 20 trades or 30 trades and a day trader took 10 trades. So the day with 50% win rate and risking maybe 1%, this guy might come out with, let's say they are just, uh, this guy might come out with 10% faster than this is going to get to 10% because he still has to cover 20 trades for him to get to that desired result according to their edge, right? So just because all these position size traders make 10% a year or something like that, it's totally different. These people are not trading your 5K accounts or 10K accounts, right? It's totally different. So which means a day trader should kind of be averaging about six on an average 6% a month consistently, and some months you will be like 11%, 12%, right? And a scalper should even make more than that because they have more frequency of trade. The edge is going to play out faster, so a scalper should have more edge than a day trader. A day trader should have more edge than a swing trader. So when I kind of look at it, I'm kind of like a day trader trading like a swing trader with a low win rate, right? And I'm not even really bothered about the win rate, right? I'm more bothered about the frequency of trades. Why would I waste a whole year just to make 20%, just to make 20 R? And then if I just miss five trades, so now missing trades is inevitable. Right now, let's say I'm a perfect human being, I'm all missing trades is inevitable when we talk about realistically, missing trades is impossible, right? Missing trades is inevitable. In realistically, in relation to human and how our mind works, it's just impossible, right? So, realistically, in relation to human mind, it's almost impossible for my current edge to be profitable when applied by human. Now, remember that this return on investment I said here, where is it again? This estimated return is if you do not miss trades, is if you do not make any mistake, because you are going to make mistake. You're going to make human errors. There will be some trades that you hesitated and then you missed that trade. So I'm not even talking about those human errors now. I'm just talking about from a perspective of missed trade based on the fact that I might not be able to take a trade. Is it just impossible for me to take a trade at that moment because of that current situation? I might be in an exam hall. How am I going to take a trade in an exam hall? Those kind of things, like I'm just thinking about it. So that's if let's say I'm even perfect, right? So without considering the fact that you make human errors, that's what I'm saying now. As a human, you will be susceptible to missing trades. It's just inevitable as a trader. There'll be times where you miss trade, there'll be times where you hesitated. All these kind of things will just play a very big role, right? So now, are my reasons emotional? Am my reason emotionally biased, right, or logical? Me changing a strategy is it the way to go, or I'm just being emotionally biased and you know. So now I asked AI. We talked. I presented my data. I presented some things, and I presented. Okay, I'm currently having some kind of stagnation, and what is kind of the problem? So now it's not that the edge is unprofitable, as you can see. It's that the win distribution is sparse, right? The win rate is low, um, the equity growth is inconsistent, the psychological burden is heavy, and I'm very key on this psychology burden. I can relate. I can relate to the psychological burden. The execution error like mistrade are too costly. So now let's go to more. So the edge has a low win rate, the edge has a low trade frequency, highly sensitive to missed winners, has no room for human errors. Just missing five winners over a full year, which is almost guaranteed, cut your return from 35% to plus 15%, approximately a 50% drop in total gains. Imagine having to trade for the whole year and then still coming out and breaking. And mentally, it feels like you are doing everything right but making no progress. And this is something I really want to key on, right? As you can see, if you're watching my trading journey, I'm just like, there has to be a cause before an effect. And of course, to make some realization, you have to keep on enduring the your current reality, of course. So you don't just understand everything at once, right? While you keep on going, you keep on make some realizations. You keep on saying, okay, this realization I made was not actually the problem. You keep on going, you keep on just reflection, constant reflection, and then you're just gonna get it along the way. So now, second response, okay, third response, low frequency of trade. Like I said in the beginning, plus low win rate is equals to combo dangerous combination for psychology, right? Is equal to dangerous combination. I've been looking at internally, but how to even like, okay, is my edge actually edging? Right? So like on trading alone has given you a lot of odds against you already. I'm now making my strategy give me odds against me already. My strategy is now working against me instead of my strategy to work in alignment with me. So, and this is AI response, right? With only 4 to 7 trades per month and a 38% win rate, you might get one win and six losses in a month, or zero wins in 2 months, even if your edge is still intact. Missing just 2 to 3 winning trades could wipe out 3 to 6 months of slow equity cover. Now, this third one, missing 2 to 3 winning trades could wipe out 3 to 2 months, is one of the major reasons why I made the decision to change this current edge, right? And I can even make an argument that I'm not really changing the strategy itself, but like because I took out this week, I didn't trade this week just to back test. I think I took one trade. I think Monday. I think I took one trade and it was a loss. So I just like okay, I'm not gonna trade for this week, and I'm just gonna back test to see okay this current approach. Okay, how can I refine this thing, right? But I would say that 50% has been changed, right, in the core area of how I traded. So I would say I changed strategy, right? It's not like maybe I went. So you're not just dealing with losses, you're dealing with long emotional dry spells, which can kill consistency and confidence, right? And I think that this is an issue that sometimes we just tend to, blame psychology a lot. Sometimes, okay, yeah, like AI said, like I realized, dangerous combination for psychology, of course the cause behind why I've been kind of having some, to be honest, and I won't say that like even with all these dangerous combination for psychology, I think I still like performed right. And one of the things I recognized in my pattern is that I started being too invested in trying to catch every move. And yeah, why don't you try to catch every move when you have a low frequency of trades, right? Now, because most of the time I come to the chart, I analyze, I do my higher time frame prediction. Okay, prices should go from year to year, those kind of things. And most of the time, it's gonna play out. But I'm not having an entry because my entry is rare, and when it's rare, and when it even comes, it has a low win rate. So when it comes, I'm still gonna chop that loss. So I'm not even getting rewarded for for my mad patience. You get the vibe, you get the point. So why won't I be trying to, when you look at it from that scenario, why would I be trying to catch every move? Why would I be looking for, some lower entries, those kind of things? So this is the reasons why I'm gonna be changing my strategy going forward. And I've kind of done about 5 months of backtesting on this current one. I just want to start trading next week. So what I did was instead of just backtesting like maybe January to May 5 months, I just like okay. I'll just going into different years to pick some months to trade so that I can like have a taste of different market condition and see the kind of, so I'll see how bad can I go, those kind of things. And currently, okay, I'm not even really going to talk about the current win rates. I still want to make it maybe like 2 years. I still want to get to like 2 years before I, come to a conclusion of okay, this is the average stuff I can get from that particular strategy. And also like it's still based on my logic of continuation, right? It's not like maybe I I went to look for a whole new different thing, right? But currently it's a little bit above 38% rate. And yeah, I think that's gonna be end for this video. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts about this and all. Peace out.